brief explanation of what this series is all about, I have 9 different coffees from different countries from the company Nespresso. I am a cigarist that's learning everything he can about stuff of this nature. Because of the art behind it, you get to understand taste notes and origins. What else has that? Coffee. With coffee, some of the notes you'll find in this, you can find in coffee with earth, woodsy, cocoa, and so on. I have 9 different origins which will be on display right now, and I want to find out which one is the best. Join me on this journey, guys, to see who has the world's best coffee. Roll that intro. Hope you guys enjoyed the last episode with best attire I think I have in my possession. So I think this comes second to the best attire I currently own, and you could definitely own something like this in the description. But with less self-promotion, let's get into the best promotion of coffee. I keep on saying it every single episode, and I'm gonna keep on saying it every single day until the day I die. Coffee is my life. I'm 25, about to turn 26, and I have been drinking coffee for almost 22 years. It sounds wild, but when you grow up in a Spanish household, a Puerto Rican household, coffee is engraved into your blood cells. At the age of 4, I started, and I'm never gonna stop. Doesn't matter how bad they tell me coffee may be. Obviously, I know black coffee is the best way to drink it. Adding the creamers and sugars and all the kind of other stuff, it's not the best. I want to enjoy a long life. Enjoying coffee with the creamers and then the sugars and all that kind of stuff, it's gonna shorten it drastically. I'm with it. I'm going out my Hispanic blood way. But speaking about Hispanic blood, today's coffee is from Costa Rica. I've never experienced much things from Costa Rica. I know very little about the country. I know about the cigars because when I first started my cigar adventures, it started off with Cuban. My dad's part of this newsletter subscription that's for cigars, and I think it's like towards the end of the year, if you do want, you'll put in I think like $80 towards subscription. You get like 100 or 150 cigars, and I think these are like cigars that make the cut for either boxes or bundles, or then they get sold, or the companies went out of business, or companies are just trying to get rid of their overabundant supply. So it's a whole bunch of different criteria that hit of why they're giving away these cigars for so cheap. And I believe the cigar, the majority of the bag that my father got, he shared a portion of that with me. A great portion of the sticks within the bag were from Costa Rica, and it had a sweet taste to it. I'm not sure the background of this coffee yet. I'm trying my best to actually learn how to break down coffees. I'm slowly getting it and grasping it. If you are a coffee expert, if you are a brewer, if you work at a shop, if you maybe taking class or you're currently employed with Starbucks, I know Starbucks give you a little bit of education when you first apply. It's been a long while since I worked at Starbucks, so I'm kind of very rusty with the knowledge that they gave to me in Starbucks. So if you do work at a coffee shop, if you are a brewer, if you understand and you actually do have extreme passion for coffee, which is something I want to have in the near future. I don't want to say I have extreme passion, knowing I don't know everything I need to know about it. Not even the basics. So I'm just gonna say I am currently passionate and want to excel my passion for coffee. So if you are really passionate, truly passionate, that understand what goes into cultivating it, what goes into harvesting it, what goes into planting it, when it comes to raising it, when it comes to understanding the taste, when it comes to understanding which milks to combine with it properly, if you do want to add anything to the coffee, which combination of dairy to put into it, I want you guys to reach out to me. I have all my social medias in my description. I want to learn, because I have a need to learn and I want you guys to help me out. Same thing I've been saying for every episode. On the top right corner is everything about this coffee. I'm looking to the camera. I don't want to look at it. I want to see what I will gather from this coffee. And then we're going to break it down through an espresso for what this coffee is all about. And I'll give you my rating on it. So far, Mexico and Cuba, we're hand in hand the same rating. This is day 4. There's 9 coffees in total. So you never know. Maybe I might go back and actually change my ratings. I might actually find a coffee that was amazing and it will triumph over the 8.5. Maybe an 8.5 might change. Maybe by the time I hit number 8, it'll probably change my mindset of how I feel about the previous ratings, and I might change the positioning of every coffee. You never know. Let's give this bad boy a try. For the initial smell, it's definitely lighter compared to Mexico. This is also a 5.07 ounce, or basically almost a 5.1 ounce cup of coffee. It's not a double espresso, and it's not your coffee size that the previous 2 were. Cuba and Mexico were 7.77 ounces. This is a 5.07 ounce. So this has its own little category itself. It has a very like roasty taste to it. One more try. Pause in this sentence, but it's a little nutty. It kind of has like a Christmas feel to it, like a winter night type of feel. It has like that roastiness. It has a little bit of like that. It's like a nut. It has a little bit of a nut aspect to it, like almond. I don't know. It's different. Definitely way less bitter. It's not as bitter. It's definitely not bitter at all. It's smooth going down, has a little sweeter tang to it. It has like a good roast, I guess roastness to it. And it has a little bit of a nuttiness to it. Then now that I broke it down on my end, I'm gonna go look on the website. Let's look at it together. Taste. The one-of-a-kind process of fermentation in hot spring waters brings about a remarkably balanced and clean taste in the cup. Master Origins Costa Rica is full-bodied but mellow. Yeah, a malty sweet cereal note runs through it with crystal clarity. A malty sweet cereal note. I could see that. Served as a Gran Lungo, which is a 5.07 ounce. Aromatic notes, nutty and balanced. So that's where I'm getting it. Basically, the crema on top is releasing the nutty and balanced aromatic smell to it. The actual taste is supposed to be very cereal-like. I could see that. Going back into it, I could see that. Now you have the 4 charts. You have bitterness, acidity, roast level, and body. For the bitterness, it is a 3 out of 5. Acidity is a 1 out of 5. You have roast level at a 4 out of 5. And the body is a 3 out of 5. I think I'm getting better at this, guys, because I call out, say this has a good roastness to it. Hold on, hear me out. It tasted nut when I first tried it. All right, hear me out. Listen. I tasted nut. So when I first tasted it, it had that nuttiness to it. I could definitely see the balance part because there's nothing was overwhelming. The bitterness level didn't go. Certain black coffees will make it go. It's like it's super bitter, and I don't mind it. But this was like perfectly balanced. There was no rough factor to it. There's no overwhelming factor to it, and it had a great taste note to it. Well, since this is a well-off balanced coffee, it might sound weird, but this is something I could enjoy. In the previous video, you'll see why I rated that, and you'll see why for the Cuban one, I rated that. I think this is actually better than both of those. I'm gonna give this a 9. This is something I can enjoy anytime. Sometimes going for a 7.77 ounce coffee could be too much. All depends on the concentration of the caffeine levels. This granular size of coffee, I believe it's the perfect amount. It's not a minor amount as an espresso. It's not a minor amount as a double espresso. It's not a major amount like a regular cup of coffee. This is, like it states in its description, this is a perfectly balanced coffee. I'm gonna give this coffee a 9. So Costa Rica is at a 9. I already know 3 to 5 years from now, as we're all rewatching this series, we're all gonna be shaking our heads because of how I'm doing the rating system and the lack of knowledge I have. But with the current knowledge I have, I believe this is a 9. And I'm not trying to diss Nespresso's Costa Rica. I'm just saying I am not an expert, but I believe a balanced coffee is the best. It's like when you cook food, especially steaks or chicken or pork chops or anything around the lines of meat type of products. Over season is bad. Under season is bad. Balanced seasoning is perfect. I'm using my intellect from my cooking side and from my cigar side to give this rating a 9. Hope that makes sense, and I hope you guys agree with that. Hope that lets you understand how I rate things. But tomorrow will be another day, and we'll see what we're doing next. I did 4 days in a row. We're not top line. You never know. Tomorrow could change. Stay tuned for the next part. But until next time, guys, love your faces, and I'm out. Peace.